Well, howdy, folks. Thanks for joining in again. In today's episode, we're going to get back into working on the foundation. We're going to finally have about a week, days over 50, which means I can apply my waterproofing membrane and then my insulation and then backfill, and I can work. That can be done and make it a little bit easier when I'm lifting stuff up. I don't have to. Hello, sweetie. I love you too. So. I did a pretty good job in the fall of getting a lot of the outside knocked down. I didn't do as good a job as I needed to do. I should have been more careful when I was going through initially doing it with cleaning up. I knew it was going to be an issue down the road. I didn't realize how big of an issue. So anyway, that's what we're going to do today. There are some areas you can kind of see back over there where I got a little generous on my throwing my dirt up against it, so I got to sweep it off. I got some brooms and shovels. First, I got some eye protection I'm going to put on, a face shield, and I got some masks I'm going to put on to hopefully keep my lungs free of the concrete dust. And we're going to get going. So, all right, I think the dogs didn't pull out my microphone this time. Let's get going. So the first order of business was to go back and knock off all that extra dirt that I had heaped on there, trying to build up the south side. Luckily, it was dry enough; it was pretty easy to scoop off, and then taking the broom and getting all the extra stuff that was still left after I had tried to shovel. This side wasn't too bad. Had to stop and admire my work for a second there. When I turned the corner, first part wasn't too bad, but that second part, enough had dropped in that I need to get a shovel. Man, you gotta love those long tails t-shirts covering up my crack like that. Can't see anything. So here we got my supervisor following. Got that side all swept out and looking good. Next time it was wire brush to smooth up the wall side so that the paints could go on, and then my foam can hit on there nice and flush and smooth. Well, as flush as you can. You can see my blocks don't line up very well, but you know what? It's good enough for government work. It'll get done. It will be safe. So then let's go back, brush it all off again to see exactly where I was at with all that little slag. This is actually was spillover from when we filled all the voids of the block. I just didn't have time. Well, I didn't take the time because I was lazy that day to go back and clean up on the sides. So I had to go back. It was a little bit difficult because it had set up pretty good, but luckily it didn't set up the same time the rest of the concrete, so I could break it apart. Backside's a different story. You can see it's why on the north side. You don't want to build on the north side of a slope. Look at all that ice and snow that's still there. So just trying to get it all cleaned off so that the air can circulate around and hopefully get that cleared off. So in the next couple days I can get that backside too. I did take a quick look and it looks pretty good. Not a lot of slag, so it'll be pretty easy to clean once it clears off. So hey buddy, it just goes. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take my blower down there and do some blowing, blow all the dirt off. Kind of get an initial cleaning, check and make sure, see if there's any little pieces I need to go back and chip off, and then do a final blow off and cleaning, and then get ready to put her down. So that's what we got in store for today. What do you think, Disco? Disco approves. That's my supervisor for the day. That's my lead supervisor. All right, folks. Well, as I was doing that work, I started thinking to myself, which can kind of be dangerous sometimes. But my thought was I was going to take this tape and put it on and then run the paint. Well, I forgot I have the filler stuff too. And in some spots, this bottom thing, hey guys! Some spots, this bottom thing's nice and smooth. In some spots, it's really rough. It just has to go with how how the foundation went when we put it down. Did the best we could. I mean, it works, but it's not the prettiest thing in the world. So, I think I'm going to take that filler and I'm going to run a thing of filler along the bottom and smooth it out so that when I put that tape on there, can adhere to a flat surface. Because some of this stuff, I'm afraid, it just wouldn't. And I don't really have a real good way to push it down. I don't have a 1-inch roller. So. anyway, that's the plan. So we need to go inside right now and figure out exactly what I need for that to get that trowelable whatever on there. So, all right, here we go. So I ended up applying the trowelable filler with a paintbrush. It just ended up slopping on easier that way. Went on the south side first because that's the least important side. Always want to start with the least important side because it's downhill. Plus, I wanted to see what the kind of coverage was. Got a lot of coverage done on it, and hopefully that north side will be ready to get done in the next day or two. But so that's exciting, and hey, stay tuned. We got some more steps to get this wall done, but been a while since I posted, so I want to get this out to y'all. Thank you all for staying and watching this all. If you haven't, I sure would appreciate y'all liking and subscribing and sharing with like-minded folk, if you don't mind. So I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a wonderful Easter, and stay tuned. More to come. Wander on, y'all.